Hey guys, how's it going? So it's been a while since my last video. I haven't recorded a video in a very long time since before my family came to Taiwan to visit me for New Year's. So it's been a while. I've got a few things I wanted to say, but I'm just going to kind of give a general update about how I'm feeling at the moment and sort of like kind of where my state of mind is and where I think my Chinese is. And what I wanted to talk about is the idea that I think I'm very kind of happy with the progress that I'm making, but I still think I'm not happy with the level that I'm at. And I want to get that in a bit and go through that a bit in a second. But just quickly, my parents came over and my brother as well came over for Chinese New Year. We travelled all around different places in Taiwan. And I don't know if any of you have any experience of doing this, but like if you just go into a restaurant and you're with yourself, you know, your Chinese doesn't have to be brilliant. You can just see, there's one thing you like on the menu when you order that or whatever, but then when you've got to cater for like 3 other people and you have to translate everything, it's so much more difficult. It's a lot more difficult. But you know, managed to communicate okay. I don't think I really had any troubles in communication while we were there. It was really enjoyed my time, really enjoyed it. I was really enjoyed seeing my family, and it was really nice of them to come over and visit me for Chinese New Year's. And back in Taipei now, started school again, almost finished the semester I'm on, which is the second one, and I've got one more to go before I go back to the UK. On top of that, I've been reading a lot recently, especially after my holiday. I've finished Huojie, and then I've watched the film as well. So I wanted to talk probably in a future video about combining books with movies and so on. We'll probably talk about that in a separate video. And yeah, it was really good. I've also started reading Benny Lewis's book, Fluent in 3 Months. I've read like half of that in Chinese at the moment, which isn't too difficult. So all in all, I think, and it's getting easier and easier to read. I think the books I'm picking up, ones that I think should be interesting where the level's not too high, and it's allowing me to cover a lot more ground and actually start, enjoying stuff the other day. Enjoying stuff as I'm going through it. The conversations I'm able to go through with my friends now, getting more complicated, I think normally when I don't understand, it's a vocabulary issue, not a listening issue, so I can kind of hear all the sounds fine, I can hear what they're saying, and it's just like, blank, what's that word? It's just a vocabulary thing now, so I think it's just a case of plugging the gaps there, and that's bringing me what I wanted to talk about today, which is, I think, when you're learning a new language, one of the most important things is your state of mind. It's like your attitude towards learning. So I think when you're learning a new language, a lot of the time it can be really easy to like compare yourself to other people online, or even your friends around you who are better. So I could say, I have friends here in Taiwan, but my friend Mo speaks much better Chinese than me, my friend Jake speaks much better in Chinese than me. I can compare myself to other people I see online, like Da Shan or like Steve Kaufman or whatever, Vladimir, they all speak much better Chinese than me. And it can be like, I'm all the way down here and they're like, put them up on a pedestal. But, everyone has their own like things they struggle with still, and things they need to work on, things they need to improve, and there's always going to be someone better. So I'm not sure this like comparison thing is actually that useful. I think you just want to like compare like with yourself. So I think, maybe a month ago or like 2 months ago compared to now, I feel like I've improved a lot in that time, and I've still got a lot of way to go, but I feel like I've improved a lot, especially in the past few months. So another thing, my last video was a 6-month update, I think, of you me speaking, which seems like a long time ago, and I think I've improved quite a lot since then. So I will put another video up soon. I wanted to try and get one of my videos from Vegan Outreach and put it on here, so you can see sort of like the street activism I'm doing. It won't be a teacher, it'll be just like some random person on the street that I bump into. But there's been a bit of a stop in the events. There hasn't been as much recently, because there was a break for Chinese New Year's, and now there's this whole coronavirus thing. I think and we've also been struggling to find the location, so there's less events in general. But when we do get one, when I do get a chance, I'll put it back on. I'll try and record a video from one of those events and put it on to try and yeah, it's not going to be perfect, obviously, but I hopefully give you an idea of my level. And also, when I'm speaking to strangers on the street, I find when I first started, where my teacher would understand what I'm saying, a stranger wouldn't, because they're not necessarily used to hearing weird accents. So I think you have to be a lot more careful with your pronunciation. But anyway, what I was saying, I think I've improved quite a lot in this past few months, and you know, it's very easy to like compare yourself with other people and be like, oh well, they're so and so is so much better than me. But I really think that's useful. I really think like the mindset's such an important thing, and I think, you know, the more you can focus on the process as opposed to the outcomes, I think the better in general. At least for me, the better I tend to do. So you focus on really, it sounds like a cliche, but really focus on enjoying the process. And you know, I'm watching a few things right now. I'm watching a TV program called Douyu. Dou is in like to fight. It's like the door, but with like a king there and then use the fish. And that's really interesting. I found out there's a book to do with that as well. I've got listed a few books I want to read that are all really good. I really enjoyed reading Hodger. It's a fantastic book. Highly recommend it. I've reading Benny's book now, and you know, that's I don't agree with everything he says in the book. I think a lot of things I disagree with, but in general it's a fairly interesting read. So you know, it's really focusing on engaging and finding interesting material that you like, and not trying to focus too much on comparing yourself and worrying about like, well, so much better than me, because there's always going to be someone better, and it's going to take a very long time. So you know, might as well try and sit back and enjoy the process. Reminds me of a Ferris Bueller quote, which was something like, probably going to butcher it now, but like, life goes fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. And it's just like, that's exactly the same thing with languages. You need to really appreciate it and kind of appreciate how far you've come. So what I think one of the good mindsets to have, and I think that I'm kind of becoming better at this now, is kind of like appreciating the progress I've made. So it's kind of like, I'm happy with my progress, but I'm not happy with my level. And I think that might sound a bit contradictory, so let me explain. So when I say I'm happy with my progress, it's what I just said. I feel like I've improved a lot. I'm happy with my rate of improvement. I think I'm really happy. I'm pleased with it. I think I'm doing quite well. But in terms of my level, I feel like there's still, like, in terms of like an end result, it's not where I want it to be. But as long as I keep on, you know, enjoying the process, and I'm happy with my progress, and I'm putting in the hours, and it's going to keep on going up and up, maybe I don't need to worry so much about you know, what level I am right now. And it's just a case of kind of staying in on course and just keeping going, really. And so I think that's kind of my thoughts really today. I will do some more structured videos in the future. I think one I do want to make is, I wanted to do maybe some book reviews. I'm a big fan of reading, so maybe I'd start off doing maybe like 5 books I'd recommend for Cantonese, like in terms of native books, and then maybe when I've read 10 books in Chinese, I think I'm keeping a log of what I've read so far, and I'll go through and give my thoughts on what's worthwhile, what was hard, what was easy, because some of them weren't great, some of them were really good. So hopefully that'll be interesting. I've got lots planned, but I'm getting quite wrapped up in things here, and sometimes I just forget about my channel. But hope everyone else is progressing well, and if not, maybe try and reflect on it. Why not? Are you happy with how fast you're progressing? If you are, tell me what you've achieved and why you think you're progressing, like why you're happy with it. If maybe you think you're not progressing as fast as you'd like, then is it a case of you're being too hard on yourself, or maybe is there something there that needs to be fixed? And do you think it's useful to compare yourself with others? And are you happy with your level or not? I don't know. So I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.